We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
Learn the code while the city slept tight. Now I'm slanging lines that spark like late night. From Python webs to TypeScript skies, React in my veins and APIs that rise. Keyboard clanking, I'm stacking gold. Syntax flows like stories untold. Drinking caffeine, I'm breathing in code. From morning dawn to the night unfolds.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time.
In the hustle jungle where the bites meet steel. Digital canvas where I paint and feel. JavaScript whispers in the code I weave. Tech dreams blossom in the lines I conceive. Lines so slick they can't be caught. Variables twisting every plot. Python powers every thought. JavaScript legit hitting the right spot.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time.
Stacks on stacks, build my empire tall. Debugging dreams where the errors fall. Lines of brilliance break the darkest night. Script so dope, you can see me in the light. TypeScript magic on my fingertips. React's a canvas where logic flips. API dances, syncing clips. My code's a song where data drips.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time. We're slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We're slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
Welcome back to another Sunday afternoon episode of Software Explorations. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is doing well. Let me throw up our 2-hour timer, and I'm going to tell you this. Today we are going to go for the 2 hours because we are truly exploring, trying to figure something out. I had to do a slight pivot away from our DevOps because I am working closely with one of my tech barbarians to working on a technical project to figure out some stuff that we've been having a little bit of trouble on. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take this afternoon's show so I can figure it out and share some insight with you on the behavior-driven development framework using the Cucumber framework, all of that good stuff. So we're going to be, slight pivot, but it is going to be very, very beneficial, especially if you are a Q engineer. All this stuff goes together, and the site that we're going to be using, the site that we're going to be using to do our automation with Cucumber, with Selenium, with the page object model is going to be our only, the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. All right, so that is the plan for today. And then next week we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program of Kubernetes, trying to figure out our secrets, all of that good stuff. All right, I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. Today, this afternoon, is Sunday, April 13th, 2025. That means in 2 days, on Tuesday, it's going to be April 15th. You know what April 15th is? It is the day that your taxes are due. Have you guys filed for an extension or have you filed your taxes already? You don't want to miss out. Make sure you pay Uncle Sam his paper because you do not want Uncle Sam coming after you. All right. So that is, but also April 15th is the release date of the Frenemies album by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into our agenda for today. So, because I really got to get to work because I have a lot to do, short amount of time. Even had to cancel Scrum Night today because we are going all in trying to figure this out. We are on a tight deadline and this has to be perfect because it is an opportunity that does not come around it doesn't come around all the time. All right. So that is the plan. All right, let's see. So basically what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be working on Cucumber. We're going to set up I'm going to show you what CucumberJS is, talk about behavior-driven development. We're going to create our project and we're going to start implementation. As we get into it, I'll explain more, all of that, all right? So we have our timer going. I want to say, as we get started, thank you so much to all of the subscribers, those who are brand new, those who have been with me since day one, those who are very active in the chat, those who watch from the clouds, every last one of you. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you.
And I want to say a big shout out to my tech barbarians and my tech project members, my technical explorers, all of the Patreon members. Shout out to you. You guys are the absolute best. The amount of effort, the amount of work that you put in and day out.
We the best.
And shout out to my tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube channel members who allow me to continue showing up here every single day. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. Upcoming shows, we have tomorrow morning. We are going to be going live with our large language models. We're going to be finishing up. I think we're just about done with the project. I think I wanted to try out that calculus problem for Magnetar, but then we're going to jump into week 2. We've been working at it for about 3 months on week 1. We are jumping into week 2 of the course and continuing learning about large language models and seeing how we can apply that to our daily functions, the things that we do. How can we build our own things, right? Instead of just going to ChatGPT or Claude, Anthropic, or Gemini, how can we build something using these large language models that is going to benefit us and customize it, So that is what we're going to be doing tomorrow morning. We have Candid Conversation coming out tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow at noon, and it's going to be a really good one. It's going to be so Me Mystify, you guys know Me Mystify. He made a video the other day, and I just wanted to do a follow-up video on what he was talking about pretty much what drives me to work the way that I work, and hopefully that can offer some insight to anyone out there, So, and then we're going to be doing our tech Q&A on Tuesday night. So if anybody wants to call in, all of that good stuff on the Jiu-Jitsu channel, Half Guard Halfy, we're going to be going live next Sunday night. We're going to be reviewing some more Jiu-Jitsu videos and having conversations with me and my friends, Justin, Naum, Henry, and whoever else wants to show up. All right. So that is what we have. Oh, and on the Tech Music channel, also got new music coming out this Tuesday. All right. A lot of stuff happening, a lot of moving pieces. It's just a lot. It's a lot, but it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Ain't believing us.
All right. That is about it. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so you can know every time we go live and drop new content. Join Team Tech Coach Ralph at techcoachralph.dev. So much exclusive information. You can join the Team TechnoDrop Discord and we can interact in there. Pretty much that's the only place I'm available at this point because I am so busy doing all this stuff, right? So that's everything. Those are all the announcements. Let me check the chat and then we will get to work. So first and foremost, we have Rock the Scrubs Roxy in the building. The Rock the Scrubs song is going to be on the Frenemies album, so you don't want to miss out on Tuesday. It's going to be available on all major streaming platforms. Shout out to Roxy. How are you doing? Roxy says, good afternoon, TechnoDrop, and everyone, good afternoon to you as well, Roxy. And we got my guy in the building. Wave Nerd says, afternoon, Roxy, and everyone. Shout out to you, Wave Nerd. How are you doing today? Hopefully everything is going well. As soon as things die down a little bit this week, I'm gonna jump into your email and I'm going to follow up on the things we spoke about, and we will follow up and get together again. All right. Alrighty then. So with that being said, let's get our first 20-minute segment on the clock. Time is running. The day is short. Lots and lots of things to do. I am excited. All right, let's get to it.
It's time to do.
So basically, the game plan for today, I like to gamify things. The game plan for today, we're going to look at the Cucumber. We're going to talk about Cucumber. I'm going to show you the documentation for Cucumber. We're going to create our project in our IDE, WebStorm. We're going to install the necessary packages, create our feature files, create 2 scenarios, and then create our page object model, and we're going to test along the way. All right. Lots to do, a little bit of time. We have our break time conversations, all of that good stuff. Right. So to get started, we are going to take a look at the Cucumber documentation. You might not be familiar with Cucumber. You might not be familiar with behavior-driven development. We're going to have a quick crash course, maybe about 2 minutes, because I do have a video on this channel about Cucumber, but today's live stream is more about getting something to work, me continuing what I've been testing, and then maybe in the future we can spend a little bit more time using behavior-driven development in Cucumber, right? So let's get to our share screen, and let me put our banner on for today. All right, so banner is up. We are using Cucumber with Selenium with the page object model. All right, let me pull that up. All right, cool, perfect. So what exactly is Cucumber? So Cucumber is a tool that supports behavior-driven development. If you're new to behavior-driven development, then would read that. Basically, a quick summary, because I'm not going to jump deep into behavior-driven development. You can watch a video on the channel about that. But behavior-driven development is developing an application based on the features and actions that a user would be doing, right? So we'll see this in the scenario, right? But Cucumber itself reads the executable specifications written in plain text and validates that the software does what those specifications say. The specifications consist of multiple examples or scenarios and so here's an example, right? And I'll explain to you what this means in behavior-driven development. So the way that behavior-driven development would work, they have what they call a trinity. It's normally like a business analyst, a software developer, a QA person. The business analyst could be a product owner or a project manager, but they write it in plain text that anyone reading this scenario can understand what's happening. So in this example where it says a breaker guesses a word, that's your scenario. And then they write it in a format called Gherkins. That's why you have the cucumbers on the thumbnail, but they write it in Gherkins, which Gherkins follows a given, when, then format. Given is like what should already be set up, your preconditions. When is the actions that you're taking, and then is the results, what you're verifying, right? So in this scenario, given the marker has chosen a word, when the breaker makes a guess, then the maker is asked to score. All right. Not 100 familiar. I don't know what this scenario is talking about, But the most important part is that you can see the given, when, then. Given is your precondition. So given, the maker has chosen a word. So the maker has already has a word chosen. When breaker makes the guess of whatever word that maker has chosen, then maker is going to validate something, all right? Anyways, let's see. Each scenario is a list of steps for Cucumber. So this is a step right here. This is a step right here. This is a step right here. Each scenario is a list of steps for Cucumber to work through. Cucumber verifies that the software conforms with the specifications and generates a report indicating a check or an X for failure of each scenario. In order for Cucumber to understand the scenarios, they must follow some basic syntax called Gherkins, what I just mentioned. Gherkins is a set of grammar rules that makes plain text structured enough for Cucumber to understand. The scenario above is written in Gherkins. Gherkins serve multiple purposes, unambiguous execution specifications, automated testing using Cucumber, document how the system actually behaves. So you can have all your documentation of the system inside of these feature files is where your scenarios go. And then it's going to read that feature file to know what it's supposed to be executing. Cucumber, for all intents and purposes, is a testing framework similar to PyTest in Python, similar to test in JUnit in Java, any other testing framework, supertest in JavaScript. They have Cucumber available for a multitude of different languages, which we'll see. But today, we will be using it in JavaScript with Node. If you did not know, JavaScript is not my favorite language because there's so many different versions, so many different ways to write it. It's a mess. But because that is what we are working on, I need to use it in JavaScript, right? All right, Gherkin's document is stored in feature files. Let's see, what are step definitions? When, and then maker would be your variable. Starts a game, maker dot start. All right, whatever. So basically we are going, let's get started. We're not gonna go through reading everything. We can get started with this 10-minute tutorial that shows us how to, let me see, do I want to do this one? I don't know if I want to. I'm not going to start with a 10-minute tutorial just because it doesn't already start integrating the automation. So we're going to start off with this one, right? This one is find some cheese. All right. So, and you see how they have JavaScript, Kotlin, Java, Kotlin, JavaScript, and Ruby. We're going to do JavaScript because that is the one that I need to do it on. What I am going to do, I am going to open, I already have it open, but I'm going to create a new project for, let me switch screens over here. And let's go over this screen. And I'm going to create a new project. Let's say TCR livestream CucumberJS. All right. Let's go here. And where did it go? Where did it go? I don't know what happened to my project. New project. Oh, there it goes. New window. All right, let's go here. All right, so we are getting started. So the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna install. Let me see if I can show both of these on the same screen. Let's see. That way we can have our documentation with our code. All right, so I'm going to start off with, in the terminal here, we're going to go and all right, so before we can start here, we need to get things installed, right? So let's do installation. We're going to do this one, and we need to do, let me make this smaller so you can see it. All right, let's go with that. And let me see how it looks. Looks all right. And all right, so we are going to do npm, which is the node package manager, install -- save - dev. We're going to type in @cucumber/cucumber. We're installing it for the node package. And then we also need to go to the Selenium.dev website to install Selenium WebDriver for JavaScript. Let's go to getting started. Install Selenium library for JavaScript right here, and we do npm install Selenium WebDriver. All right. Have that installed. In your project package.json, add requirements to dependencies Mocha 11.1. I don't know why they say that. Let me see. Package, dependencies. I guess we can just do that since they're asking us to. I'm not sure exactly why they want us to, but I will. Let's see. 11.1. Let's run the install. We might not need it, but we shall see. All right, so we have our Cucumber. We have our, I think Mocha might be a testing. I don't know. I'm not sure. But so we have both installed. All right, so let's go back over here. And now let's say we create a new folder, new directory. I'm going to call that tests. And inside this new directory, I'm going to create a directory called features. And basically what I'm following along is, let's go to guides. Let's do the 10-minute tutorial. So I'm basically creating, or this is already done. I'm basically doing, so this is already done. I'm creating a folder called features, and I'm creating a folder inside of the features called step definitions. So basically my JavaScript file that's going to have my definitions are going to go inside of this folder. My feature files are going to go inside of the features folder. What is this? So we're going to create a file at the root called CucumberJS, and I'm just going to copy format option, create and add it here. What does it do? I wonder what that does. Anyways, let's go ahead and paste that in there. Might have to follow up. All right, so create a file called stepdefs.js. And inside that file, constant assert equals require assert. All right, and we probably okay. All right, and then we're gonna do const. Let me close this out, and we're gonna say, so here we are importing our given, our when, and our then from require at cucumber/cucumber. All right, so now we have our Gherkin's syntax that we're gonna configure inside of our project. All right, so verify that everything runs together. I'm just gonna run. I don't think anything's gonna run. They said to do npm test. I don't know if that's gonna work for me though. Npm test. Let's see. Missing test script. Let's take a look at this here and change test section. Why don't we have a script section? All right, let's do. Do I even have? Let me see something. npm init. Okay, whatever. So I'm just gonna create a test section here, or script section, and then we're going to say here, and we're gonna say test, and we're gonna say CucumberJS. All right. Let's go to. Oh, what is this? Let's see. Let me cancel that. Let me see. All right, let me try to do npm init -- yes. All right. Let's see. Do we have? It has this. Let me comment. Let me take this off. All right, so let's do npm test again, because you should be using Cucumber now. Missing script tests. Okay. Let me undo that. Let me get rid of this one. And in here, we would put CucumberJS and try npm test again. All right, cool, good. So it tells us that we have 0 scenarios, 0 steps, the same way that it shows up over here, which is correct. So now what we are going to do is we're going to start writing out our scenario. So we're going to do our scenario for our feature file with scenarios in it. I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, because we're doing it on the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, I'm going to say create a new file. We're going to call it, let's say, I'll call it search for, or search, I just say search feature, right? Or search.feature. And so now we're gonna say feature, so let me close this out, feature search for economic indicator term, right? And I'm gonna say as a user, I want to search for an economic indicator. So this is defining the feature indicator on the home page, so that I get a list of results. I think that's fine. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so now we're going to go to our scenario. Search for economic term, right? So it says, given I am on the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data homepage, when I enter the search term, let's say consumer price index, I say when I search the term, then I am taken to the search results page. All right. So that is our first scenario. And I'll leave it at that for now, and then we'll add another scenario afterwards, okay? So now let's go and try to run it, npm test. And it's going to... why not? npm test. It's not finding my scenario. Let's see. Is there something inside of the package.json? We do that. We do that. Directories tests. That's weird. What if let me expand this for now. What if let's go here.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
All right, we are going to break, and then we will come back and continue with this. I'm not sure why my npm test isn't finding it. I might be doing something wrong in there, but we will investigate that. Maybe it doesn't need the test folder. We shall see. We shall see. Let's get back to full screen. And I am going to check the chat, and then I will get to our first break time topic of the day. All right, so let's see what we got going on. All right, let me go to Wave Nerd says, respect, take your time. Taxes and your birthday are more important. I didn't say it was my birthday. Let me see. We got my guy, AR Smitty, in the building. Says Tech Coach Ralph and Roxy. What's up, AR Smitty? How are you doing tonight? Hopefully, or this afternoon. Hopefully, all is going well with you.
We the best!
All right, so let's get into this first break time topic. The topic is, you might like it, you might not like it. It is about work-life balance. So let's take, where is that? Hold on 1 second. Why is it like that? Give me a second. Let me fix this up real quick. We are gonna move that right there. Oh, not there. Oops. Give me a second. We are going, all right, we are gonna go like that. So let's talk about work-life balance. I came across an article talking about the LinkedIn's co-founder, Reid Hoffman, saying seeking work-life balance is a red flag, that you're not committed to winning. And you know, all we do is win over here. So let's read this article together to see. I'm curious, what are your thoughts? What are your sentiments after we read this about work-life balance? Is the LinkedIn's co-founder correct, or is he sadly mistaken? Let's get to it. Let me throw up 5 minutes on the clock just in case we end up going over. All right. Let's see. So, can we see this okay? Yeah, can we see it? Yeah, we can. All right, cool. So this article is brought to us by Yahoo Finance, or by Fortune through Yahoo Finance. LinkedIn's co-founder Reid Hoffman says seeking work-life balance is a red flag that you're not committed to winning. All right, so Reid Hoffman, the visionary behind LinkedIn, is not a believer in work-life balance for serious startup entrepreneurs. The caveat is here. It's for serious startup entrepreneurs. That I definitely agree. With the exception of one nightly ritual, he expected employees to constantly be working. LinkedIn's co-founder Reid Hoffman has a reality check for entrepreneurs. If you're serious about starting a company, you should say goodbye to binge watching your favorite Netflix show after dinner or sleeping in on the weekends. You need to be on the work grind all hours of the day. It says, if I ever hear a founder talking about this is how I have a balanced life, they're not committed to winning. Hoffman told Stanford University's How to Start a Startup class in 2014. The only real great founders are the ones who are like, I am going to put literally everything into doing this. I have to say, I agree so far, especially when you're trying to get something off the ground. When you are training for something, I mean, do you see some of the conditions that the basketball players, the football players who are great and who are committed, the work ethic that they have compared to the ones who just don't give a damn?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
While Hoffman's tough love when it comes to work-life balance is nothing new, the clip has recently resurfaced on social media and is now racking up thousands of likes. Oh, thousands of likes? I would expect people to be like, oh my God, that's so mean. No work-life balance. We need work-life balance, you know? And even after the pandemic, when Americans realized that the constant work grind was hurting their mental health, his opinions haven't swayed. You're by nature dead as a startup, he said late last year on Diary of a CEO podcast. Work-life balance is not the startup game. Facts. Startups can't afford to take time off from working except for this one daily ritual, Hoffman says. Even though 1/3 of employees in LinkedIn's early days had children, taking time off was not an option with the exception of dinner at home. Shout out to dinner at home. When we started LinkedIn, we started with people who had families. So we said, sure, go home, have dinner with your family. Then after dinner, open up your laptop and get back in the shared work experience and keep on working. While that may sound brutal in today's culture, tell me about it. It was even worse when Hoffman was helping to find PayPal. Dinner was served at the office. I'll tell you this, the company that I work for, in their early days, they were grinding. Like it was tough. It was tough, but guess what? The hard work and the dedication that everybody put in paid off. And those people from the early days, those who are still there, they got treated so well because of their dedication. All right. The people that think that's toxic don't understand the startup game, and they're just wrong, he said. The game is intense. And by the way, if you don't do that, eventually you are out of a job. Look, whatever it is that you're doing, I mean, think about this, right? You are your own startup. You are your own startup. If you are doing something for yourself, then you have to treat it as a startup. Like whatever it is that I'm doing, like when I'm training for a competition, I have to put everything into that by making time. What in the world is going on with my banner? Hold on. Just noticed that. What? Okay. Yeah. So you have to put everything into what is coming up. And if you want to have a great competition, if you want to have a great business, you have to put everything into that. All right. It says, for those who disagree, working at a startup is a choice. Hoffman insisted that is true. It is a choice.
Move on, back to work, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work.
But the reward on the other side is second to none. The 100 or so first employees at LinkedIn don't need to work anymore, he added. Microsoft purchased the professional networking platform for $26.2 billion in 2016. As a leader, the pain must be embraced if you want to find success. You guys know I have that song on the Victory album. Why do people hate success? This is why, because success takes a lot of hard work and effort, and 99.763% of the people do not want to put in the hard work for what they want, for the outcomes that they want. They want it to come easy, but look, my friend, there is nothing that comes easy that is worth it, all right? Hoffman's words resonate with leaders across all parts of the tech industry who sometimes have to substitute work-life balance to overcome challenges. The VSCO, for example, or take VSCO, for example. Founded in 2011, the social media company rode a wave of popularity after the VSCO growth. I have no idea what VSCO is. Trend, and was later valued at $550 million. However, when Eric Whitman took over as CEO in 2023, the photo app. The photo app was trying to shake off its image as being just a fad. Under Whitman's leadership, the company finally turned a profit in 2024, and he recently told Fortune that accepting there will be stress and long nights in that process is key. Look, if you want success, you are going to have to suffer. There is no if and buts about it. If you don't want to suffer, then stay off the court. Stay off the field if you are not willing to suffer. And look at this. I'm going to equate it to this, right? Because we're talking about startups trying to make a lot of money. If you're trying to get in tech, for instance, right, you are going to have to suffer. You're going to have to work late. You're going to have to wake up early, because guess what? You probably still have your day job. You still have to put in the extra hours so that you can be better than your competition. Who's your competition? Everyone else who's trying to get into tech. You got to put in the work, right? There are no ways around it. There's so much to learn that you're gonna be your mind is gonna be here. Oh, you're gonna be pivoting here, there, all of that. You got to put in the work, all right? Let's see. Let's continue with this article. Let's see. And he says that the need to grind extra hours extends to staff because success doesn't come just from the top. All the people I've invested in, they get what it takes to be modest overachievers, embrace the grit, work together with a bunch of other really great like-minded people, and are just willing to grind their way through to find those wins and grow that into something that you know is increasingly successful, he adds. When you distill it all down, those are generally the attributes that I've seen where you're creating a successful company and a successful product. All right, so I agree with this article. However, I'm going to put this caveat that if you have a startup, right? If you have a startup and you want your employees to work all types of hours and stuff like that, but the thing with startups is a lot of times they can't fund the amount of work it takes from the actual, like the labor costs from the employees. You need to offer some type of incentive, maybe some type of future. Like if you don't have the money right now to offer that type of incentive, you need to offer some type of future incentive, because with the future incentive, let's say the company does take off and blow up, you need to be able to compensate them on the back end instead of them just, I'm like, you can't expect somebody to work 20 hours a day and then there's nothing that might come out of it. So that way they are investing their times and their effort into the future of this company that they are building, so that if it does take off, they will be properly compensated on the back end. And if they're not okay with that, then they are not for you. But on the side of the startup, you need to take care of your people in that fashion. There's like, for me, if someone wants to work with me, I have no problem. As long as I think what they're working on is a good idea, I have no problem taking equity and working, investing my time in that. And then on the back end, if the work that I do is good, if the product that we're building is good, then I get to get compensated later on. It's kind of like Elon when he took a salary, was it for like $1 with Tesla, and then he got compensated 7-8 years down the road. Although some jerk of a judge is like, oh well, I don't like how much you're gonna get paid. Well, that's the agreement, all right? That is the agreement. Sorry, shareholder, for you not happy with the agreement that you guys agreed on. when he took that dollar deal. But that's a whole nother story. That is a whole other story. Let's wrap that up and we're going to get back to, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this article. Work-life balance, is that something that for a startup should be focused on? Or are you the type of person who says, you know what, I would not work for a startup because I do not have that type of care or effort to dedicate to a company. I just want to show up, do my little job, and then go home and spend time watching Netflix, watching, what's the name of the other one? Watching Peacock, watching Amazon, because my nights from 5:30 to 11:30, my nights are dedicated to watching, to binge watching TV shows. And during the day, I'm just going to clock in, clock out, do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm done. I am done. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Leave me, if you're watching this on replay, leave me a comment. If you are watching this live, drop a chat in the let me know in the chat. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? All right. So let's get that off the screen, and we are going to continue with working on this project. Let's go to another 20.
Let's go!
And we are going to switch over to here. And we're going to do our first step definition, where it is given that I am on the, let's go like that. So given that I am on the home page, we're going to say, oh, actually, I have to fix something too. Let's go and take, let's take this off for now. And let me try to run that again. Why is it not finding any steps? Maybe let me try to move this, or maybe I gotta do, hold on. I don't know why it's not finding my steps. Let's go to npm test /features. Okay, there we go. I don't know why that was like that, but okay, whatever. We will do that. So let me go ahead and close that. And now we're gonna do our features. So we're gonna do given, and I am going to put in this given, and I'm going to say async function. All right, so we have our function for the given. So that's our step definition. So now if I go and I do play, or not play, but I go and do this again, you will see that one passed because we do have our step defined. So what I'm just gonna do, just to make it a little easier on us, I am just going to define all these steps. So what I'm basically doing here is saying, matching this, do it like this instead. So I'm saying this given is matching this step definition right here. Given, right? So now I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna say when and async function. And lastly, then, and I'm going to copy that. And we're going to say, that's it, right? So now if I go back to running this again, everything passes because it's able to find our steps and it's able to find our scenarios. All right, next up, we're going to get into the actual Selenium portion of this. So let's go to here And this is installed. We're going to go to getting started again. And we're going to go to, so we're going to make this bigger. We're going to go to write your first Selenium script. And we're going to say JavaScript. And we're going to say, I think something's missing though. Make this a little bigger for now. Install library. We have it installed. First script. Let me see the full example on GitHub. All right, so we need to take this to get our buy, builder, and browser from Selenium. And we have this assert already here. And we do let's do think I'm going to put this here for now. Let driver. And then we're going to do inside of the given function, we're going to do defining the driver. And then we are going to say, well, I'm going to do driver. Oh, wait, driver dot manage to maximize my browser dot window dot maximize. All right, and then I'm gonna say, so given that I am on the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data homepage, so it's gonna be await driver dot get, and we're going to say, let me see, what is the page for localhost 3001? So we're going to say get the page localhost 3001. All right. So we're going to, so basically what we have here, creating the driver. I really need to get a better understanding of these asynchronous functions and these awaits, because I think not this coming software expiration, but consummate overviews for Wednesday, but maybe the next one. I'm gonna have to dive deep, because I still don't have a good understanding of these asynchronous functions and stuff like that. All right, but let's go ahead and run this to see what we get. Let's see if it opens up our browser. No, it says that, let's see, we have an error. Let me move this back up here. What is our error? You're calling function given on an instance of Cucumber that isn't running. What does that mean? I don't know what you mean. This means you have invalid installation, potentially due to Cucumber being installed globally. A project structure where your support code is depending on a different instance of Cucumber. Either way, that is weird. I'm just gonna run the feature file. Let's see if I do it through here. All right, there we go. Okay, cool. So we have that part is working. Look at that. Now I am going to close that out. And we are going to say, so we're going to finish writing this script right here, right? We're going to say when I search the term, so we're going to, I needed that. Let's go to localhost 3001. And we're going to say here, input ID search. So I'm going to say await driver.find element by ID search. So I haven't started using the page object model yet. We're going to say send keys. And what I'm going to do here in Gherkins, you can pass in a variable. So I'm going to say here is search term, which I could have not done that. What? How do you do that again? Hold on, search term. Is that the wrong thing? Is that the wrong syntax? Let me see. Let's go look at the syntax. It should be. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so this should not be there, I guess. I think it should be there though. Let's leave it at, let's give it a try, right? So let's give it a try. I send the keys search term and I do search term. So now what my expectation would be is that when it runs this, it should put in it should at least type in search terms. So let's see. It did not. Undefined parameter search term. When I search undefined parameter, I search the term. So they don't want the quotation marks. And I put this as search. Why can I not put search term? Let me try to, maybe, that's weird. Let me run it. Okay, so I guess I have to leave it as, I wonder why. That's weird to me. All right, anyways, whatever, it's working. Let me quit this, and I search the term, and I'm also going to say await driver dot find elements. Not that one. We're going to say we are going to click on here, inspect, and that is going to be div dot class the button, and we're going to say by CSS, and we're going to say here, and we're going to say just a little click. All right, and this is all going to be part of the page object model. Once we get there, we are going to say, we're going to give it another run. Cool. So look at that. We got to our search results. All right. Now we could say that there are, we can say that the term results are showing. All right. So then I am taken to the search. So I'm going to say assert true. Can I say true? Assert. What is assert? Okay. Assert match? I don't think it's a match. Let me see. Let's see what assert OK is. Let's say assert OK, and we're going to say await driver.find element by CSS. Is displayed for now, I guess. And let's run again. Okay. Let's close some of these out again. Oops, that's what I want to do. All right. It's saying there is no such element as ul.search terms. Did we get to that? All right, let's run it again. Did we get to that page? Let me see. All right, what we are going to do in that case is, because it's saying that it can't find it, I'm gonna add here a, what do I call it? Await driver dot manage dot time. Where's the timeout? Let me close that out. Let me see. Add timeout Selenium JavaScript. Let's see, or I should call implicit wait. So to add implicit waits in Selenium with JavaScript, you can use set timeouts method in the manage object. This method allows you to set various timeout durations, including implicit wait. The implicit wait will make the web driver wait for a specified amount of time when trying to find an element. All right, so let's see. Okay, so manage dot set timeouts. And then we open up the parentheses and we have that, and we can say, what's this? We can say implicit, and we will say for 1000 milliseconds. That should give us 1 second wait time. All right, let's see if that makes any difference, because maybe it's not funny because it's going way, way too fast. All right. Close, close. And there you have it. It passed. Okay, that's promising. So putting in a 1 second implicit wait was helpful. We can also do in a WebDriver wait where it's like, all right, wait till this is showing up. All right. Anyhow, so we have our first test scenario working. Let's go ahead and do another scenario where I'm going to say scenario. I'm going to use the same thing, but we're going to actually click on a additional step when, or I can even get rid of this step. And I can say, when I choose the, let's say we did consumer price. And we take that one. We would say, all right, so let's go for ul.here.li. We can just choose the first one. Let's just choose the first one. When I choose the first option in the results, then I should see the definition page should load, and I should have a page header and or page title, I guess, and I should have a definitions section, something like that. Well, we can update it as necessary. All right. Let's go over to adding this one. When I choose the first option, async function, did I type something wrong? Oh, wait a second. I am somewhere that I should not be. Hold on. Let's put it here. Oh, what? What's going on here? Hold on. Let's see what is going on. Put it here. I don't know why that's happening. When
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Let me finish adding this real quick. Let me do it like that. And let's go with that. All right. I don't know what happened over there. But we're going to specify clicking on this page, and then we're going to validate the other stuff. All right. But let's go to break. We are making great progress after we have this done, these two scenarios. When we get back, we're going to jump into the page object model. All right, here we go. Let me see if there's anything in the chat, and there is not anything in the chat. So we will get straight to our second break time topic. All right. Let me see. We are going to be talking about, we are going to be talking about TypeScript. I saw this article a few weeks ago, but I didn't read it yet. But what better time to read it than now with you guys? So we're going to talk about this TypeScript to Go migration. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump over to this article and see what's going on. Let me zoom in. All right, so is TypeScript migrating to Go? This one says TypeScript migrates to Go. What's really behind that 10x performance claim? So almost 2 weeks ago, Microsoft announced they're porting the TypeScript compiler from JavaScript to Go, promising a staggering 10 times performance improvement. This news spread like wildfire across tech communities, with everyone from TypeScript fans to language war enthusiasts chiming in. The announcement leads with impressive performance numbers and ambitious goals, though some intriguing details remain unexplored. We'll tackle let me put the timer up just in case. We'll tackle those today. Why today and not a week ago? Well, in Architecture Weekly, we don't want rushy clickbaits, eh? They must be from Canada. I intentionally wanted to wait for the noise to calm down. Beneath the headline, and that's probably why I'm looking into it now, because I was like, I don't really know what's going on. Let me just wait. Beneath the headline figures lies a story worth unpacking about design choices, performance trade-offs, and the evolution of developer tools. Even if you're not interested in compilers, there are suitable lessons learned for your system design, like looking beyond headline performance claims, matching your technology to your performance domain, understand your runtime model, reconsidering foundations as projects evolve. Let's tackle that step by step, starting from the Microsoft article headline. So the headline was a 10-time faster TypeScript. Well, not exactly. First, let's clarify something that might be confusing in Microsoft's announcement title. A 10 times faster TypeScript is it really faster? Would your application written in TypeScript be 10 times faster once Microsoft releases the new code rewritten in Go? What's actually getting faster is the TypeScript compiler, not the TypeScript language itself or the JavaScript runtime performance. Your TypeScript code will compile faster, but it won't suddenly execute 10 times faster in the browser or in Node.js. It's a bit like saying, we made your car 10 times faster. We added that turbo so you could be like in Fast and Furious. I almost had you, bro. I almost had you. And then clarifying that they only made the manufacturing process faster. The car itself still drives the same speed. It's still valuable, especially if you've been waiting months for your car, but not quite what the headline suggests.
Bruh. Congratulations, you played yourself.
I'd be disappointed. Although, if we can get manufacturing faster here, that would be great. However, if you tell me that we made my car 10 times faster, I would want my car itself to be faster and not just how that you actually made my car faster. I would like you to make my car faster. It is a clever play on words. I must say, we made your car 10 times faster, but they really mean that we produced it 10 times faster. We don't make it go 10 times faster. It's good. It is good. Beyond the 10 times faster headline, Anders Hejlsberg announcement showcased impressive numbers. So VS Code, let me see, speed 10 times. Let me see, playwright. Current 77, native 7.5. So it is speeding up, I would say, the compiling. Such remarkable stats deserve a deeper look, as this 10 times speed up has multiple contributing factors. It's not simply that Go is faster than JavaScript. What a claim. Let's be honest. Whenever you see 10 times faster claim, you should view it with a bit of healthy skepticism. Skepticism? Oh, I think I got it. My first reaction was, okay, what did they do suboptimal before? So why did JavaScript suck before is what was the question. Because, and I'm not the biggest fan of JavaScript, right? I'm just going to be honest.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
Because 10 times improvement don't materialize from thin air. Like, poof, we have 10 times improvements. They typically indicate that something wasn't made well enough in the first place, be it implementation or some design choices. There's a widespread belief that Node.js is slow, which is more of a repeated stereotype than a truth. I mean, to be honest, a lot of stereotypes are true, you know. In some instances, it can be true, but it is not a general statement. Nothing is general. Come on. I mean, we make general statements, but we know it's not 100%. If someone says Node.js is slow, it's slow. If someone says Node.js is slow, it's slow. It's almost like they'll say that C and C++ are slow. Why? The architecture of Node.js. Node.js is built on Google's V8 JavaScript engine, which is the same high-performance engine that powers Chrome. The V8 engine itself is written in C++, and Node.js essentially provides a runtime environment around it.
Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
This architecture is key to understanding Node.js's performance. V8. I want a V8 engine. I want a V8 electric engine though, because I don't want to pay that much for gas. Compiles JavaScript to machine code using just-in-time JIT compilation. I mean JIT from my. If you're from South Florida, the word JIT means something totally different, right? Just-in-time JIT compilation techniques. Lib of a C library that handles asynchronous input-output operations. Core libraries, many written in C and C++ for performance. That's also why there's a few significant performance differences between performance of database connectors used in Node.js, Go, and Rust, and lastly, JavaScript APIs, then wrappers around these native implementations. Let me see how long this article is to see if we should finish it now or if we finish it during our next break. It looks like we're gonna finish it during our next break because there's a lot here to get into, and we'll probably not even finish it today. But that is a great overview in the first place. All right, so now let's get back over to our full screen. And we have my guy over on the Twitch side of the game. We have Maddox in the building. Says, hello, team. What's going on with you, Maddox? Hopefully you are having a phenomenal day. Shout out to my guy, Maddox. Always so helpful on the Twitter side, or on the X side, on the YouTube side, as well as on the Twitch side of the game. Shout out to you.
We the best.
Alrighty then. So let's jump back into another. I think we might be able to get one more 20-minute segment of work in here, hopefully, because we are doing the damn thing. All right, let me get some water first, and let's get to it.
It's time to do.
I do need to turn this AC off though. It's getting cold in here. All right, let me go to over here. And we have this working. We need to get our other scenario working. So let's say we want to click on this link right here. And I'm just gonna click on the first one. And I'm going to say, when I choose the first option, await driver by CSS, click, and then I'm going to say, I mean, is there a way to make sure that this is the definition page? Let me see. I can just go, I don't need that step. I can just go straight for the header. Let's do, unless that shows up, let me see. Does that show up? Oops. Hold on. Does that show up on, I need to set up a go back feature. Is there, I don't think that's on this page, a header. Nope, it's just, all right, so this is gonna work, right? It just terms results. So on this page, we're going to have our header. So that's that header. So we're gonna have a page content. H2. So let's just make sure that the H2 is present. That'll be our, and I can add some type of ID to it as well so that we can better automate it. But I'm going to take this step off and I'm going to turn this into a then. And the page should have a title. Then the page should have a title, and I'm just going to say assert dot equal and we're going to say await driver dot find element by CSS. Put in my CSS. Is it dot text or get text? Get text. And I'm going to say expect this to be consumer confidence survey. Now, if the search results were to be in a different order, then that would be a problem, right? All right, so let's say we have this. And for the time being, I should have a, I'm just going to copy that. And I should have, all right, let's leave it as that. That should find it. I'm going to comment this out for now. Let's go ahead and run our scenarios. All right, that should be done. I don't think it worked because it's all right. So no such element page. All right, so it didn't actually click on here. So let's see why. When I find element by CSS, so it didn't click on this, which is not good. Let me see. Why not? Says the step passed. And as we can see, it did not get to that page. So I choose the first option. Let's double check this. I mean, I know it works. I am going to up this to like 2 seconds to test it out. Normally we do like 15 seconds, but you know what? I'm just going to do 15. Let's run it. We might have to incorporate some WebDriver waits in this thing. Function timed out. So this is timing out because it's not getting to the next page. But it might be because this is in React and the way that pages load are a little bit different. React is a little bit weird, I would say, when automating. So might have to pivot to a different website, but not a big deal. Let me try to do, all right, let's go. Let me close these down. Let's go to make that bigger. I want to say JavaScript Selenium web driver wait. Let's see, we have the implicit, explicit. There we go. Wait until element is, all right, this is the one that I want. So I am going to do over here. Driver dot wait, and then we're going to see until element is clickable. Until element is, we can try it's visible for now, and then we say okay. Until element is clickable. By CSS. Put another parentheses here, and this is going to be, let's say we wait 10 seconds for that, right? Let's try that again. Is displayed is not a function. but it's not even getting to. It's saying that it's fine. So in this case, I search for the term. I choose the first option. Is displayed is not a term. Element is displayed is not a function. Where are you getting that from? When I choose the first option in the results, element is displayed is not a function. I don't have it. I just, let me see. Oh, okay. Element. That's right. Okay, so maybe when I was using that until it was, I don't know. Sometimes these auto completes make stuff up. So I don't know. All right, let's see. Okay. Still element is displayed is not a function. Where are you getting that from? Driver.wait until dot element is visible. Title is element is enabled, element is not selected, element is not visible, element is selected, element located, text is, URL contains, text matches. Let's see. Is visible should just be that. And this is saying web element return element is displayed. So why are you? This is the part that annoys the hell out of me with JavaScript and stuff, right? Because there's the code, the logic is in there, but it's telling you, oh, it's not there. Like what? This is so much easier in like Java, Python, but JavaScript is stupid. I'm sorry to say it. JavaScript is just stupid. All right, let's see. So element.displayed is not a function, although it is inside of this, right? What sense does that make? Let's see. So this is driver.wait element. Let's try element located then. By the ID and then the amount of time to wait. Let's see. Let's try that again. Would I choose the first option? So that passed this time. However, it didn't click it. Let's say we were to actually, to troubleshoot, I'm going to comment out this whole first scenario. And I'm going to run it. I want to see if it's going to click it this time if I comment it out. Apparently not. So that means I'm doing something wrong if it's not clicking it. Cool. That's good to know. And that's how I troubleshoot this type of stuff, to figure out like, hey, where is the issue happening? And it is happening. All right. So that's good for me to know. Let's go to, not there. Should have a page title. and it's not actually doing the click. Why are we not doing the click? I choose the first option, dot click. So if I was to say const search result item equals then I do await search result item dot click. Let's see if that makes any difference, because it's telling me that it's clicking it, but it's not clicking it. So that doesn't make any sense. And that's why I dislike JavaScript, because it should just be a regular click. If you're able to get to the step, that means you were able to find it, and you should just click something. But that's why it's important to get familiar with these other stupid frameworks. Let's see here. So let me take a look at let's go back over here. Driver.get, await driver.get title. Let's see, the buttons, take action, await.click. That's what I have here. Let me do console.log await driver.get current URL. Just curious what we're going to get in this result. It's really not finding it. Like, it's all right. Well, let's do some research, because this is driving me crazy why it's not switching pages. Because it should say the URL is this, but it is not. Let's go to what is the name of this right here. Let me see. Let's go to, if this was Java, it would be working perfectly. JavaScript, Selenium, POM, not logging page URL. Let's see. JavaScript. So it's not, we're not, it's JavaScript Selenium, not changing pages. Let's see. Page load strategy by default waits for the page's ready state to be complete. However, modern web applications, especially SPAs, might load content dynamically after the state. If the page isn't fully loaded before Selenium attempts to interact with it, navigation might fail. Solution using explicit waits to ensure elements are present. And okay, we did that. We did that. Asynchronous operations. Pages that rely heavily on asynchronous JavaScript might require additional handling. Don't see, because apparently it's getting past this step. but it's not getting any updated info because the URL is updated. Because here it should get the right search URL. Okay, so it does get it on here, but it's not clicking. Let me try something not good to do, but I'm gonna try to do the click again.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Let's run it real quick before we go to break. I'm gonna try to do the click again, because this is so weird that it goes through the click, but it's not actually registering the click. See, it's going through the click, but it's not actually registering the click. That is so weird. So what is it finding? Anyways, we'll investigate that after the break. So the page will get updated, but it is not actually registering the click that we're looking for, which is driving me crazy. Yeah, that's really annoying me that it's not doing that. And I'm not sure why. Anyways, let's go to full screen. All right, let me check the chat real quick and see who we got in the building. We got the one, the only, the nourishing word himself. My guy Rod Brown says afternoon to me, TCR, and everyone, good afternoon to you as well, Rod Brown. Hopefully you are having an amazing Sunday.
We the best.
And I look forward to whatever you are planning to release next week. Shout out to you. Amazing work. You are doing amazing work. I was saying the other day, back when we were talking last year, late last year, and that you were thinking about start doing videos where you're on camera, about 300 subscribers in January, and now we are well over 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to my guy Rod Brown.
Let's get it.
All right, let's continue reading this article, and we're just gonna spend 5 minutes on it, and then we're gonna dedicate our last 20 minutes to working on to continue working on this. Right? Let's just jump into it. Let's go to where we left off. So we left off over here. Let me switch over. It says that, let's see, when people talk about Node.js, they often don't realize they're talking about the system where critical operations are executed by highly optimized C and C++ code. Your JavaScript often just orchestrates calls to these native implementations. All right, let me pull this up. It says, so fun fact, Node.js has been among the fastest web server technologies available for many years. When it first appeared, it outperformed many traditional threaded web servers in benchmarks, especially for high concurrency, low computation workloads. This wasn't an accident, it was by design. Memory bound versus CPU bound. Node.js was specifically architected for web servers and networked applications which are predominantly memory bound and input-output bound rather than CPU bound. Memory bound operations involve moving data around, transforming it, or storing/retrieving it. Think of parsing JSON payloads, transforming data structures, routing HTTP requests, formatting response data. Input-output operations involve waiting for external systems, database queries, network requests, file system operations, external API calls. For typical web applications, most of the time is spent waiting for these input-output operations to complete. A typical request might be receive HTTP request, memory bound, parse request data, memory bound, query database, input-output bound, mostly waiting, process results, memory bound, format response, memory bound, send HTTP response, input-output bound. In this workflow, actual CPU-intensive computation is minimal. Most web applications spend 80 to 90% of their time waiting for input-output operations. Node.js was optimized precisely for this scenario because Non-blocking input-output. While waiting for input-output operations, Node can handle other requests. C++ Foundation. Memory operations delegate to efficient C++ implementations. Event loop efficiency. Great at coordinating many concurrent operations with minimal overhead. So here's why people miss input operation intensive operations in here. So here's what people miss. Input. Wait. What in the world? What am I showing? Why is this not showing the? Hold on 1 second. Give me a second. Why is it showing that? Hold on 1 second. I'm reading, but you don't see what I'm reading. Give me a second here. What is going on? Where is that showing? Give me a second here. Why is that showing? Why is it not showing the article? Give me a second. Let me fix this. Let me fix this. There we go. I don't know why. I am so confused by what happened over there. Anyways, let's continue reading. I think I know what might have happened. Let's close all these down. All right. So here's what people miss. Input-output intensive operations in Node.js work at nearly C-level speed. When you make a network request to or read a file in Node.js, you're essentially calling C functions with a thin JavaScript wrapper. The architecture made Node.js revolutionary for web servers. When properly used, a single Node.js process can efficiently handle thousands of concurrent connections, often outputting thread per request models for typical web workloads. Says it came essentially from the idea of that multitasking, like human tasks, is not always the optimal way of handling tasks. Synchronizing multiple tasks and context switching adds overhead and does not always give better results. It all depends on whether a task can be split into smaller pieces that can be done concurrently. Where Node.js faces challenges, CPU-bound operations. The real performance challenge for Node.js are CPU-intensive tasks like, welcome again, compiling TypeScript. These workloads have...
Back to work, chop chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
Says these workloads have fundamentally different characteristics from web server scenarios for which Node.js was optimized. So CPU-bound operations involve heavy computation with minimal waiting, complete algorithms and calculations, parsing and analyzing large files, image, video processing, compiling code. In these scenarios, the bottleneck isn't waiting for external systems, it's raw computational power and how efficiently the runtime can execute algorithms. All right, so we'll stop right here for this, and we'll pick up next time. Continue reading from the single-threaded limitation. But for now, let's go and let's finish up today's work with one last 20-minute segment.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right, so we are over here. And we are looking for, let me see what we're looking for. We are looking for why. Okay, so let me just go back over here and do a search. JavaScript, Selenium, not clicking. I mean, it worked the first time. It doesn't work on the second click. Why? So let me see. Is it because it's in React? Let's see. Several reasons why Selenium click action might fail in React application. Element not visible. Scrolling or moving to the page. No, that's none of these. Element not loaded. It's saying that it's clicking it. So why is it not? Incorrect locator. Double check the element. No, it's not it. iframe, browser, driver. Avoid using time.sleep to rely on. I don't see it as none of these. Let me see if I do. WebDriver wait until maybe am I using it wrong? All right, let me try. Let's go over here. Let me try this. Let me comment that out. And I'm gonna say const search result item equals await new web driver wait driver comma 1000 or okay comma or not comma but go down dot until. Let me import this. Until dot element located, and the locator would be this one, and then that would be it. Let's see, method expression is not. Let's go with a comma. Let's get rid of this one. And any errors? All right, no errors. Okay. And let me do another console.log element clicked $, search result terms. All right, let me try that again because I really don't understand why it's not clicking it. That just baffles me. See, it's not clicking it. WebDriver wait is not a constructor, although I used exactly what they used over here. Await new WebDriver wait driver until. And that is the reason that I despise JavaScript, because this would cannot stand JavaScript, I must say. I didn't start the timer, but no, I did start the timer. Right. Let me see. This is so stupid. WebDriver wait is not a constructor. Doesn't make any sense. Let's see. We know clicking actually works, and it thinks that. So let me copy this one. Let me undo a bunch of stuff. Oh, add it here. And I just want to put that in there. You run that. Let's see. element clicked object object dot get. Let me see if I get the text to see what text it thinks it's clicking on. Let's see if it's even finding it, you know, because it's so weird. Waste of time. If you want to do automation, spin it in Java or in Python. Don't waste your time on. I'm not going to say that. Playwright is great for JavaScript. Selenium absolutely sucks for JavaScript. I'll tell you that. That is my word of advice for you. Do not waste your time doing Selenium automation in JavaScript. See if this works. Element. So it did find it. Consumer confidence survey. However, it's just not clicking it. It's just not. It even found what to click on. That makes no sense whatsoever. Let me see. It even found it. Search results. That I am totally baffled by this. Is there another click method that I'm not aware of for JavaScript Selenium? Let's see. It's just click. It's just click. And it works for the first one. You know what? I'm going to be petty. I'm going to be petty. I'm going to put click like 100 times. Because at some point you have to click it. Nope. Totally ignores it. It totally ignores it. I am so confused by this. What about, all right, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try something. What if I move this into here? I'm just curious what happens if I do that. Let's copy that. Oops. Let's get rid of that. I'm just curious. Does it even try to click it on this one? Nope. It totally ignores it. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. It totally ignores the click. I wonder if I could put a, let me see, time dot sleep. Oops. JavaScript time dot sleep. If we do try this real quick. Function sleep. Await sleep. I'm gonna put it for like 10 seconds. And let's go for 10. Because I am So baffled by this whole thing. Waiting 10 seconds. Where did you fail on? I'm on the home page. Why did you fail? That's weird. You shouldn't have failed there. Just by me adding that function in there. Okay. So that step passed. This step fails. If I comment this out, it's going to go through, but it's not going to actually click what I want it to click. See? Something is seriously wrong. And I just can't see what it is. Let me see. This is so stupid. It even finds that it's clicking on the consumer confidence survey, but let me try something else real quick. Let's go to turn that into an XPath. Okay. Let me try to go to that as an XPath and pass this in. And let's run tell that. Let me copy that line. Oh, that's a search button. All right, let's run that. See what happens. So I'm trying to see if I specify choose the first thing that it finds, if it makes a difference. It doesn't look like it, unfortunately. Search results item not found. That's a different error at least. It's totally ignoring what I'm asking it to do. I'm so confused by this. So confused. Totally ignores it altogether. And that shows, oh. Let me take a look at what Monica is saying. What's up, Monica? How are you doing today? Let me see. Where is your... Oh, great. Look at that. They really need to fix this thing. Let me see. Monica says, do a view source on the page to see if the link is actually in the shadow DOM. If it is in Selenium, you have to click it by accessing the shadow root using... I will do that. I don't think it's in the shadow DOM, but let's find out. Well... doing a view source is a bit tricky because it's in React. So let me see. Does it actually give me the code? Let me try it and let me see something. Let me try. Your XPath, should it be? Is that not what I have? Let me see. Oh, well, the reason that my XPath is like that is because, let me see. Shouldn't it be? No. This is gonna work. Let me put this here. Oops. Oh, come on. All right. So the reason that I have the parentheses here is so that I can target getting the first one. So if I go to here and I paste that in here, it's going to get the first one because I'm specifying I want the first one. I could say get the second one, get the third one. If I leave it as that, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of small, but if I leave it as that, if I leave it as that, then what's going to happen is it'll find all of them. So which should be fine. But what I was trying to do is say, if I specify the first one, if it will find that, but it doesn't. I don't know. I think it's, I'm going to say it's JavaScript because every other language that you do Selenium automation in, this would work 10 out of 10 times, right? However, with JavaScript, with their stupid asyncs and awaits and stuff like that, it's not doing the most basic task of, because the way that I know it works, the click works on the first one, the click does not work on the second page. However, it is able to know. So here's what's happening, right? It's not doing the click, but it is able to know that the link is the let me show you. It knows that the link is the like the text, right? So if I run it again, you'll see what I mean. I am going to just get rid of all of these. You'll see what I mean. What the heck is that? Here's how stupid this is. All right. So now it knows, it tells me that it's clicking on Consumer Confidence Survey, but it's not clicking on Consumer Confidence Survey. It's ridiculous.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Anyways, I'm going to keep messing with this after the show. I'm just annoyed by the most basic functionality that it works in every other language, right? It works.
The sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
It works in every other language. However, for Selenium, and this is why Playwright in JavaScript and Node and whatever is 1,000 times better than Selenium in JavaScript. When it comes to Java, Python, I'm on board with Selenium, but in JavaScript, it's stupid. Playwright, so much better. But it says, can you provide a public link? And I don't. So this is like running locally. I don't have a public link on it. I could. I don't have time to spin up the Kubernetes cluster, but it's not that serious. And I'll tell you this, Monica. I was trying it on a different website that is public, and I'm having the same exact issue with the clicking. So I don't know. Anyways, whatever. I'm gonna jump on it in a little bit, keep working on it, try to figure out what's going on. I'm annoyed. I'm disgusted with JavaScript, with Selenium WebDriver in JavaScript. I'm disgusted, utterly disgusted. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Shout out to you, Monica, so much. Always, always appreciate you. Shout out to Rod Brown and The Nourishing Word. Shout out to Wave Nerd. Shout out to Roxy. All of you guys, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Remember, tomorrow we are going to be going live in the morning for our large language models. We're going to be having our candid conversation. Tuesday night, we're going to be going live with Tech Q&A, as well as on Tuesday, we have the Frenemies album coming out. All right. So with that being said, I am going to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your afternoon. You guys take care. You did miss all the fun, Monica. You did miss all the fun. But Tech Coach Off, we are out.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
Learn the code while the city slept tight. Now I'm slanging lines that spark like late night. From Python webs to TypeScript skies. React in my veins and APIs that rise. Keyboard clacking, I'm stacking gold. Syntax flows like stories untold. Drinking caffeine, I'm breathing in code. From morning dawn to the night unfolds.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time.
In the hustle jungle where the bites meet steel. Digital canvas where I paint and feel. JavaScript whispers in the code I weave. Tech dreams blossom in the lines I conceive. Lines so slick they can't be caught. Variables twisting every plot. Python powers every thought. JavaScript legit hitting the right spot.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time.
Stacks on stacks, build my empire tall. Debugging dreams where the errors fall. Lines of brilliance break the darkest night. Script so dope, you can see me in the light. TypeScript magic on my fingertips. Reacts a canvas where logic flips. API dances, syncing clips. My code's a song where data drips.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time. We're slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We're slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.